What's going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to another Mongil Star Dive video. All right, guys, we had 6 whole hours of a live stream yesterday, and man, oh man, is this game phenomenal so far. I've been personally loving it. We've been killing it, having a great time, and I'm going to create a beginner's guide for you. Now, keep in mind, this beginner's guide is not going to be all-inclusive. It's going to give you guys things you should do from the start till level 30. Let's say level 30, and then what you guys can, we'll do more exclusive guides for combat and everything else along the way, but I want to focus on what you guys should do in the beginning and what you shouldn't do in the beginning, just to have a strong start. Now, before I even do this video, first thing I want to say is just have fun. This game is meant to be casual. It's not open world. It's not meant to be a stressful time. Just have fun with it. Every character can take you as far as you need to go. It's end game that's going to make a difference. Now, before I go any further with that content, this right here is super important to me and probably going to be very important to you. Content creator program does exist for this. If you guys plan to support me, please log into this. It'll be linked in the description, plus pinned to every single video under the comment sections. Hit that support button. It's absolutely free. And what ends up happening, guys, is when I submit my codes to get you guys some content. So for example, right now my 2 codes will be submitting a guide, which is going to be this one, plus some gameplay, which will be my live stream. 2 new codes will be given to me to provide to you as supporters. So if you were looking for codes and you want to support your boy, hit that support button, get yourselves in. Again, it'll be linked in every description and every single video. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about this. So number 1, should you re-roll? This is very important for a lot of people, and if you should re-roll, who do you re-roll for and how do you do it? So number 1, should you re-roll? I did not. I do not re-roll in games. I just go with the punches, and my account is completely free to play. Will I be free to play the whole time? Yes. Will I create a pay-to-win account? If I like the game enough, I usually do, because I want to support the devs and I want to give you guys the best results from testing at max level for characters. Right now, I want to enjoy the game as free to play, but I may eventually jump in as a pay to win player and give you guys more pay to win content as well. For now, free to play. Now, should you re-roll? It's up to you. Okay, I want to show you guys how the banners work real quick. Okay, the banners are pretty straightforward. Once you jump into the game, you're going to have 4 banners. This one does not exist right away. It's actually replaced by another banner that allows you to summon 2 multis for 8 costs instead of 10. So right now you can see I have 2 left. Instead of being 10, normally it's 10. Right here, you can see down here, it'll be 8 instead. Okay, if you guys summon on that banner, which you should, because you're only allowed to at the time, you guys can get up to 2 5-stars if you're lucky. Okay, now this is where the reroll happens. If you're really min-maxing and you really care about that and it matters to you, then you cannot reset the game. You have to have another email account and log into that other email account. So it takes a lot of time, guys, to jump in and continue making new accounts. It'll take you roughly about 15 minutes to get to the summoning screen. You have to unlock the mailbox, plus get the free rewards from pre-registration in order to do this. So just keep that in mind. 15 to 20 minutes, different emails every single time, and you'll have to log into a new account just to summon. The rates are super low. Okay, so I didn't summon, but once you do complete your summon, this pops up and there is no 50-50, guys. Whatever you summon for, you will get. So 50-50 is out the window. It's completely 100% for you for summoning. You guys can see your records right here of what you summon. And also you can choose the target you want to summon for. Right now, Flare, in my opinion, is the best choice to go for. Try to go for 2 different elements. Flare is fantastic. Ophelia is fantastic. Jinwoo's fantastic. And there's a couple other characters you can go for. Right now, my character, the 5-star that I got this character right here. Now, a lot of people are not a fan of his. I actually like him quite a bit. Sangha. Now, he's one of the only male characters in the game, ironically enough, and I ended up getting him. Melee, wind, DPS. Now, there's a little bit of a dilemma with that because the character that is now the current special banner is also a wind melee DPS, and that is Esther. She should be the main goal for everybody. She's a fantastic unit, does insane amounts of DPS, and will be your go-to DPS melee unit of choice. Okay, so ideally you want to have a support. Jinwoo at the top end. Francis is absolutely free and she's more than capable to keep going, but Esther should be your main choice of melee DPS and Flare should be your range DPS. You do want a Destructor unit as well too, or destroyer, sorry, I said destructor. Destroyer unit is 1:30 a.m. You want a destroyer unit because destroyer units actually do quite a bit of damage on stagger bars, and stagger bars matter quite a bit. And we'll talk more about stagger bars in combat in a separate video. So re-rolling, if you plan to, need a new account, need to keep doing it every 20 minutes, and hopefully you summon your 2 5-stars, and then you can move on with your life. Ideally, you want Flare. If not, at least getting 2 is good enough. All right, that's the banner situation. Super straightforward. I do not recommend by any means summoning the next these two banners. Please do not, because these are for whales and for people who have enough money to spend. If you plan to spend, then yes, you want to go Esther, then you want to go for this, and then for everybody else, you want to choose the one you plan to go for with a class plus whatever class you plan to summon on. And also, if you can see here, there's elements as well too. So make sure that you guys see the previews here. You can see what they all do, etc. Right? Fighters, supports. What is this? Fighter again, and it tells you exactly what this does. Earth damage increase versus this fighter one, which does lightning damage increase, etc. So make sure, guys, when you are summoning for these things, you're summoning for the proper class plus the proper element. It matters a lot. Do not spend your resources willy-nilly and screw it up. Okay, that's number one. Number two, once you get into the game, the main thing you should focus on is doing the main story. Okay, I will say this right now. If you're going to be free to play, getting Starlight, which is your main source of summoning, is going to be very, very difficult and grueling for the first little while. I've only been able to summon for the Destiny summons, which is the high end ones, one time. That's it. And I still have 80 more to go just to get Esther. So really decide if you want to summon for her. You have 20 whole days to do so. If you do get a win melee DPS like I did, you may want to hold back and be like, you know what, I'll wait for the next banner. So keep that in mind. So getting Starlight is very, very difficult, and it's very time consuming. And it takes, I believe, if I remember, it takes 1800 or 1600 or something like that. I think it's 1650 or something, 1640 to summon a 10 summon here. And it's taken me 6 hours to do that almost twice. Okay. Keep that in mind. So first thing you want to do, guys, get through the story mode. You're going to get Francis for free, which is a fantastic support character. And she is going to be pretty much your main support if you're free to play. Unless you got super lucky and got Jinwoo, okay? She'll be your main support. Your destroyer, if you want to have a good destroyer. I use Cloud personally, and I actually got a dupe of him. He's fantastic as a destroyer, and he does insane stagger bars. So really, really good, just free unit to have, right? And then of course your 5-star character will be your main DPS or whatever you end up getting as a support, etc. right? So these are some of the units you want to use. Another notable unit here, Verna's not bad as a melee DPS, but if you do end up summoning Yuan Hua, she's actually pretty decent for a lightning melee. So if you don't have a good DPS and you happen to summon a supporter, then you go with her. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the menu. Do the story first. Okay, before actually we go into the menu, a couple of things I want to point out. The actual best way to get yourself summon tickets, okay, just so everyone is understanding this and on the same page, you can see right here, these side quests are very, very, very critical to your success. So whenever you get a side quest, guys, and eventually as you unlock more of the real story mode, you're going to be able to do side quests that will give you summoning tickets. Make sure, guys, you do all in every side quest. Do not rush through the main story if you don't have to, unless you're looking to get end game as soon as possible. Side quests are a great way to get yourself summoning tickets plus other resources and adventure level. But I want to talk about everything else in this game, and I want to talk about some of the menus that are super important. So first off, follow the guide. All right, there are 8 pages to this guide. You guys can see I'm 7 of 8. Once I hit this one right here, I'm going to move on to the next one, and I'll be able to do other things. This guide will give you great amount of resources in the beginning, including some of these Starlight crystals, which will allow you to summon. So very important, guys. Use this guide as your tool in the beginning to get it done. There's also a event going called Maiden Clover and this one here, it lasts quite some time, and it'll give you the ability to go into the shop once you do these quests to buy specific things. I'm going to recommend right away to buy yourself Compass of Destiny and Compass of mostly focus on Compass of Destiny. If you plan to go for Esther, that should still be your number one choice. Everyone should be focusing on that. And the way this event works is that you'll be able to do a storyline, and I'm going to tell you guys this now, you cannot skip the storyline dialogue or you will not get the rewards. You have to go through the entire dialogue in order to get it. And once you're done that, you'll get those. You can go into the actual missions, complete these missions as you play along, and then at the end do this event stage, which allows you to fight these specific bosses to protect people. And with this, you'll get yourself some Starlight crystals, some of these Clover badges, which is for the event, and of course some adventure level EXP. Very, very important stuff. These adventure level EXPs are super important, and it's your account level up. Okay, so that's something you want to focus on right away. For those who are spenders, highly recommend, if you do plan to spend, this battle pass is really good. It gives you so many many good things. But if you're not going to spend, free-to-play players, you also have access to the top all the way to a summon, and then of course anyone who's pay to win will have access to other things along the way. So make sure you do these and look at what you need to do in order to get them done. You guys can see there's weekly quests, season quests, etc. So quite a few of these are going to be available to you right away. All right, next thing over here, this of course is the event that's going on in the game. Anything Manon's guidebook we just looked at, I'm at 7 of 8. The Star Dive starter check-in. Every day you're going to log in, guys. You'll have some summon tokens, so don't worry. You'll be able to do that. In Adventure with NYANNERS, this is something you're going to also want to do in NYANNERS. We're going to talk more about the cat. Very, very important. Consider it your Pokeball, essentially, right? Monster capture log. Anything that you capture here, guys, make sure you come back here, and this is a great way to level up your monsters. Monsters are going to require a whole different guide on its own. It's very complicated, and I'm going to break it down for you guys once we go through that. Adventure's Proving Ground, also something you want to do, but you guys can see these are all bosses that you'll eventually start doing, and this is all top end content, so don't worry about this is going to take a while. Claim Before the Storm, again, recruiting Esther, anybody who plans to whale a little bit, these are things you're going to do along the way. And then welcome to the Maiden, and I just showed you that already, and Maiden Clover mascot. Do this, you get to do a trial with Esther to see if you like her gameplay, plus it'll give you access to a couple different things for free, so get these events done as quickly as possible. And then over here you have yourself the dailies that you can do, plus some of the hunts you can do. Yes, you can do 5 hunts a day, which will give you guys some adventures, plus Starlight Crystals. I can tell you now, it's not enough. They need to give us more Starlight Crystals. So hopefully if you support me on the program, we get more of those and I can send it your way. Okay, let's talk about some essentials. NYANNERS? I'm trying to remember the name. This is very important. Leveling NYANNERS up is going to allow you to have higher end capture proficiency, which allows you to capture more monsters. The more monsters you capture, I'm going to put this down right here, you level her up or it up, and it will allow you to capture higher end grade monsters as well. So you can start off with the standard being 16%, then select will be 0.6, and you guys can see choice is 0.000069. But as you go along and you level up, you're going to get to the point of prime, etc. And what this does is allows you to capture monsters with better abilities and more skills. And by this I mean the passive specifically. You guys can see there is physical resistance, skill cooldown, there's green ones, there's blue ones, there's purple ones, and then there's, I think I had a legendary one here, a prime one somewhere. Let's see if I can find it on a random thing that popped up. But leveling NYANNERS essentially is allowing you to, so you have to essentially capture monsters to level her up or it up. Say her, but it could be an it, and that will allow you guys to get higher levels and then better stats through your monsters. Now these monsters are huge and requires a massive difference in guides, and we'll talk more about that, but this is a very important part, guys. Plus you can combine monsters to make different monsters, and it's very important that you do this to grow your repertoire of monsters that you can get, plus monsters that eat other monsters can also acquire their traits. Again, complicated, and I'll go through it in a whole separate video. Okay, your character screen, this is a very important one, of course. Here you can do breakthroughs, which you will be able to do once you finish the storyline I'm at level 30. You can also get character trials. You can try your characters out. You can also get yourself level ups, right? You're gonna have to level up using books. You can do those through paths. There's also the skills page right here, which will show you guys all the skills, the passives, etc. And these will be able to also level up once you start getting the nasty powder material to level that up as well too. And then of course there's the equipment section, which allows you to equip these I don't even know what they're called. They're artifacts. And then of course you have helmets, chest, hands, and feet. And yes, there are sets. You guys can see this set, for example. I just have the chest on them because it's the highest end chest that I had, which allows you to do certain things. This is the Frenzy's White Wolf, which gives your teammates with the 2-piece, gives defense +3 for 5 seconds upon using a support skill. Obviously for support characters. 4-set target elemental weakness damage taken +2% for 5 seconds upon enacting and hitting an enemy with earth affliction. So really good for Francis, for example, right? For now, I'm going to say this: do not waste your resources leveling up any commons or greens. You'll get to blues pretty quickly. If you are stuck, that is the perfect time to use your resources to level up equipment. You don't have to, but if you plan to finish content quicker, equipment is going to matter a lot, and you're going to need to level it up, and you're going to need resources. One thing about the boots I want to point out: make sure you try to get the proper class to wear the right boots. This is not an assassin class. This is a fighter class, but I don't have better boots with better stats, so that's what I'm going to use. But we'll talk more about crafting and gearing in a different video. Okay, very important to note that. There's also ascension, guys. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ascensions. Each ascension is going to require you to summon for a dupe. 5-star characters are really, really difficult. On the other hand, 4-star characters are a lot easier. But because of the lack of summoning at the moment, it's only day 1, ascensions are not going to matter very much. The devs already said ascensions are not a big part of the game right now, but they may maybe, of course, in the future, because they want you guys to spend your money. So keep that in mind. And then, of course, there is the Monsterlings. All of these monsters you will capture along the field. Each one will come with its specific rank effect, which they all do. They're usually pretty much the same, unless it's one of the special monsters, which have other things that, and they can actually be summoned to fight in the battle or do an effect with you with link chains. And then each of these monsters have a trait. Now, these traits are random. Okay, so these traits, like for example, this goblin and another goblin will have completely different traits. Now, when you level up a monster and then eventually you fuse them, there's the chance that these monsters will absorb each other's traits and you'll have more than 4 traits. I've tried to absorb this monster with another one that I wanted, 20% chance. I failed. I lost the traits of the other monster. So you got to be very careful what you do. And you ideally don't want to feed higher end monsters to lower end monsters. You want to feed the lower end monsters to the higher end monsters. So you keep those going. And sometimes these monsters will mutate. Clear as mud? Probably complicated. I'll make a whole separate guide for monsters for you guys in the future. Okay, so very important, guys, to remember that it is a very complicated process, but that essentially is how heroes and your characters are going to be used and leveled up, etc. Right now, a couple things about leveling. You are going to need books, and once you level to a certain point, in this case 20, you're going to need to go through a certain part of the story. And once you've done that, you're going to need to do a breakthrough. Breakthrough requires material specifically for that character. Now, where do you find that material? Well, you guys can get it through the free pre-registration codes that I gave you, or you can go to something called paths. Paths are going to be a place where you can fight monsters, specific monsters, for various resources. So for example, experience books, artifact enhancement training, monster enhancement training, equipment enhancement training, and the next page will have Vault of Greed for gold, and then there's another page for all your breakthroughs. As you go through the game, more breakthrough material will be available, but you do have to finish some more of the story mode in order to unlock it. So going back to the original thing, finish your story modes. Now, everything here is run by a key system. You guys are probably aware this is your replacement for stamina. Ideally, you never want to be capped for keys, guys. And once you finish an entire stage, you can actually go and clear it again for free by doing it automatically. So there's the auto clear option here by using keys to get yourself more stuff. Now, ideally, you don't want to auto battle anything unless it's the most recent. So in this case, if I were to do this battle, I'll prepare with 10 keys, and then first clear, I'll get my starlight crystals, and then from there, I'll get more resources for what I need. So never auto clear the lower end stuff unless you need it for any specific reason. You ideally want to use your keys, guys, and you want to make sure they're not capped because they will refresh. Okay, very important to remember that. All right, so that's another thing I want to talk about. Now, the monster codex, you can see what you've captured along the way. The more you capture, the more resources you'll receive in terms of starlights. Every capture counts. And once you've completed the full capture, you'll get yourself 25 per full capture. Unless they're higher end monsters, then you'll receive more. So very important, guys, to actually go out and capture monsters, go in the field and fight random ones and pick them up along the way. Okay. Also, achievements. Make sure you get your achievements. This is another great way to get some more starlight crystals. And that's the name of the game right now, guys. Getting starlight crystals. Make sure you do that. Now, if you are stuck anywhere in the game, use your cooking. Cooking is super, super important. Food does a lot of, it helps quite a bit actually. And you can actually buy recipes in town. Okay, so I'll show you guys exactly where to go. There are 2 vendors in town that you want to definitely visit and buy some recipes from. So for example, here's Brownie. She's the cook, and you want to shop and you want to make sure you buy every single recipe on the list here, because all of these are going to matter quite a bit. And gold in the beginning is pretty easy to get. It doesn't matter quite as much until later on in the game. So get every recipe possible from the cook and make sure you cook them and have that available to you, because when you do harder content that you're lower level for and you want to finish it, these extra stat boosts are going to matter a lot. Plus, some food will actually revive you during the battle. The other unit over here, or the NPC, is Verona. She's an alchemist, also has a shop. You definitely want to use these to buy some of these scrolls, and these are permanent effects. Okay, you guys can see, for example, this scroll of endless wandering will actually give you guys maximum stamina +5 for every character. So this is super important, guys. Pick these up, and once you pick them up, make sure you go into your bag and actually use it. If you don't, it doesn't count, right? So there you guys go. Once I use this, you'll see max stamina for all my characters. Put that in, bam, everyone now has max stamina. Again, I'll go through a battle guide because it's important to do a separate guide for you on that. And then outside of that, guys, outside of doing the main story, outside of focusing on side quests to get your summons, make sure you focus on the characters I mentioned and add friends. Having friends is super important because you can claim more keys, allowing you to do more dungeons and more farming. And you can also send keys to friends. The friend list, if you want to know where to go, is actually right under the settings section, right at the very top. And if you plan trying to redeem codes, guys, if you are playing PC, under the same thing, setting others, all the way in the bottom. If you are iOS, you need to log in to the forums. Okay, the forums right here will have a section for you that you guys can use in order to redeem your codes. Right over here, there's a redeem code button right on top of the forums. You just go there, click that button. It'll take you to the redeem section. If you're an iOS, this is where you're going to redeem it. You need your member code, which you can find in the game, and you can enter those codes right there. Now, speaking of codes, before I go, these are the 6 codes that are currently active. Love Mongil, Mongil Discord, DevLive 0410, Mongil Present, Dins. I'll put all this in the description, and Mongil Report. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching the beginner guide. More guides on the way. Appreciate you. Remember to hit that like, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.